Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Hello dear learners, welcome back to our channel where English learning becomes an unforgettable adventure. Today we begin the incredible life story of one of the greatest leaders in Bengali nation Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, the voice that shook a nation history. This is not just a story, it's a journey of hope, courage, and determination. Listening to this story will help you improve your English vocabulary pronunciation and listening skills, but more than that, it will inspire you to dream big and never give up no matter how hard life gets. So, get ready for the most powerful and most motivational story you've ever heard. Let's start the journey of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, a man who is the flame of Bangladesh. Every great tree begins as a small seed, and every great leader begins as a restless heart. In the small village of Tunjipura, under the Gopalganj district in Bangladesh, former West Pakistan, on March 17, 1920, a boy was born into a simple family, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. He was not born with riches, nor with power. What he had was a burning curiosity and a heart that could not tolerate injustice. Even as a child, Mujib showed compassion. When his classmates were hungry, he shared his food. When others were bullied, he stepped in. Teachers would say, "This boy, he does not fear anyone when he speaks the truth." At just 18 years old, when he saw the Bengali farmers exploited by zamindars, something awakened in him. He realized, if I do not speak for them, who will? That was the first spark of leadership, the courage to stand up even when no one else does. Leadership begins not with power, but with empathy, the awakening of a voice as a student leader. Dhaka, 1940s, a time of political turmoil. British colonial rule was ending, but uncertainty gripped the subcontinent. As a student at Islamic College in Calcutta, Mujib's leadership began to shine. He was not the loudest man in the room, but when he spoke, people listened because his voice carried truth and conviction. He organized the students, helped victims of communal riots, and reminded everyone that unity was more powerful than hatred. When others sought fame, Mujib sought justice. And when Pakistan was formed in 1947, he saw hope, but also danger. He noticed how the voice of Bengalis, the majority of Pakistan, was already being silenced. When the rulers declared Urdu as the only state language, Mujib said, "You can suppress a people for a time, but you can never suppress their mother tongue." Thus began the language movement, a defining chapter in his journey. When he became the voice of the people, the struggle began. The 1950s, East Pakistan was crying out for equality. Mujib founded the Awami League with one simple belief: politics is not for power. Politics is for people. He traveled from village to village barefoot, often hungry, talking to farmers, workers, rickshaw pullers. He listened more than he spoke. The people began to call him Mujib Bhai because he made them feel seen, heard, and valued. He spoke of self-determination, of Bengali pride, of dignity. He wasn't fighting just for votes, he was fighting for the soul of a nation. For this, he was imprisoned multiple times. But every time he came out, he was stronger, wiser, and more determined. They can jail my body, but they cannot jail my ideals. The people began to believe that if freedom had a voice, it was the voice of Bangabandhu. He presented his historic, the 6 points, the dream of a nation. Mujib stood before a gathering and presented the 6 points, a roadmap to economic and political freedom for East Pakistan. Many called it rebellion, but for the ordinary people, it was hope. The 6 points became a symbol of liberation, the manifesto of a people who wanted to breathe freely. The regime reacted with fear. Mujib was arrested, accused of treason in the Agratla conspiracy case. But that only fueled the fire of the people's movement. From the tea gardens of Sylhet to the paddy fields of Kulna, one chant rose: Tomar Amar Thakana, Padma, Meghna, Jamuna, Joy, Bangla. When he was released, Mujib was no longer just a leader. He was the embodiment of the Bengali dream. The birth of a Bangladeshi nation, 1970 to 1971. The 1970 general election, a turning point in history. Mujib's Awami League won 167 of 169 East Pakistani seats, a clear, democratic mandate. Yet, the rulers in the West refused to hand over power. Tension rose. On March 7, 1971, in the racecourse Maidan, Mujib stood before a sea of people, over 1 million hearts beating as one. He did not declare war that day, but he ignited it with his words. The struggle this time is the struggle for our emancipation. The struggle this time is the struggle for our independence. That speech became immortal, a call to conscience, a call to courage. Soon after, he was arrested and taken to a prison in West Pakistan. But even in captivity, he became a symbol of freedom. His people fought, and Bangladesh was born on December 16, 1971. The world now had a new nation, and its father, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. After innumerable sacrifice for the country, Bangabandhu returned to a free Bangladesh in January 1972, tears in his eyes, pride in his heart. He said, "I have seen the sea of blood. Now I want to see the sea of love." He began rebuilding the war-torn nation, brick by brick, hope by hope. His vision was clear: a nation of equality, a land of opportunity, a Bangladesh that stood tall among the nations of the world. But on August 15, 1975, tragedy struck. The father of the nation was assassinated, along with most of his family. The man who gave his life for his people was taken from him. Yet, his dream did not die, because dreams like his live in the hearts of generations. Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, the eternal flame. They killed a man, but they could not kill the idea. The idea that one voice, when filled with truth, can move mountains. Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman taught us that leadership is not inherited, it is earned through sacrifice. Patriotism is not a slogan, it is service. And freedom is not a gift, it is the price of courage. Today, when you face challenges in your own life, remember him. Remember the boy from Tunjipura who dared to dream of a nation. If he could rise from a small village to change the world, so can you. Be the voice of truth in your time. Be the Bangabandhu of your generation.